Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea, and today is finally going to be the second episode of the Tiny Room Chronicles series, which I started 2 years ago when I moved into the new house with my dad and moved into a closet-sized bedroom. From that, I was inspired to start getting rid of things, living more minimally, and even now I'm living with my mom in this freaking huge room. I'm so grateful for it, but I'm so inspired still to just want to get rid of more things, to have less things. Come here! So because of the amount of views I got in my last video, I thought I'd make a second one because I've also been working on getting rid of some nostalgic items and toys. And I also wanted to make this because I've looked up how to downsize toy collections, but every time I do that, I've only seen videos of like moms getting rid of their kids' toys and not like nostalgic toys from childhood and items like that. So I wanted to make this video talking about that stuff. I'm sorry for all the noise, it's my dog. If you'd like some general tips on how to get rid of your stuff, consolidate and organize, you can check out the first video that I made that just has some overall tips for everything. But these are going to be a little more specific to items that are nostalgic from your childhood or your past, items that you don't actually need other than because they remind you of the good times, you know? So here are some tips on how to downsize the amount of things that you have. Number 1, as I mentioned in the first video, notice how a thing makes you feel. Because these are things that you have memories attached to, really think about what is the memory that it's bringing up for you. And if it's a negative thing, you don't need it. Only keep things that are going to make you happy, because when you look back on them, you don't want to look back and think about a bad time unless that bad time like sculpted you to who you are and like it really means a lot to you. There's really no reason to keep something that might remind you of something bad. That's also the main topic of the Marie Kondo method, which is keep things that bring you pure joy. And that makes a lot of sense, especially with nostalgic items. Number 2, hesitation. If you hesitate on getting rid of something, I suggest putting it aside, moving on to the next. Don't let it hold you back. But keep a pile of maybe items that you can go back to and then really think about what's holding you back. A lot of the times I've realized that I have guilt for ever buying it, like spending my money on it, or if it's a birthday present or something, a Christmas present, something like that. You know, you hesitate to get rid of it because there's something else in it, money or someone else's emotions kind of thing. Those are the ones you really have to work on. Put them aside for now, make a maybe pile, and figure out, do I really need this? Is keeping this benefiting me, or is it just making me feel more guilt? Number 3 is to make categories. You don't need 1 million teddy bears. I have tons and tons of little dog toys, the littlest pet shops, and I realized that I don't need all of the little dog houses that go with them, because what's the good part about them is the actual dogs. So to keep all the dog houses, that's something that I could let go of. So keep a few of an item and get rid of the rest. Only keep the ones you really love. Number 4, if it is worth money, sell it. Because we're working with nostalgic things, they could be older. Look on eBay, see if you could sell it. If not, donate it, because that's a great way to have your toys have another life. Number 5, consider the future. Where will these items be down the line? Are they just going to be sitting in a box? Or do you imagine maybe giving them to your children? Or do you imagine making art out of them, doing something with them, or are they just gonna sit in boxes? Are you gonna display them? If they're just gonna be sitting in boxes, which I realize for me, unless I have kids, they will be sitting in boxes, it's important to curate a box, a 1 box or bin that has your things in it, and try to get rid of the rest, because you don't need tons of bins to go through that are all of your childhood toys. You're like much older than I am, and maybe you have kids of your own, like my mom, and she has so many bins, so many. Downsize it. If you have toys from your childhood, 1 bin. If you had maybe your kids' art and stuff like that, 1 bin. You don't need all of that like baggage in the closet, you know? The closet's behind me, that's why I was pointing back there. Think about what you would put in a time capsule. Think about what, if you were to bury something and come back to it later, what would make you the most happy to see? I think that's like a really great way to decide what you want to keep and what isn't quite as important to you. Even maybe make a separate box that is just like your favorite things, and that's a great way to realize what is really important to you. Number 6, remember that these are just items. Your memories are not going to go away if you get rid of the item. These are just items, and if they were to go away because you're not using them, they're just memories. It's not the worst thing in the world. So open your mind up to getting rid of some of them. And tip number 7, the next tip, is if you're afraid of getting rid of something because you're afraid of losing the memory of it, take pictures. That is what I did. I literally laid all my stuffed animals out and I took a big picture of them all on the couch. I kept most of them because I'm a freaking child, a baby who needs stuffed animals, apparently. But I did get rid of some, so taking pictures of items, you can make like a scrapbook or just have like a file of them and look back on them and still feel those memories. You just don't have the physical item, but it's a great way to still keep the item without actually keeping the item and taking up space. I hope this was helpful to anyone out there because I have a very hard time getting rid of like my old toys and old things. So if I could help someone out there, great. Use what works for you, but just remember that you're trying to get rid of things. So in the end, that's what your goal is to do. You want to live more minimally. You want to have more space in your mind because you have less stuff that you have to worry about. Let me know if you liked this video, if you like more tips for other things such as books and makeup and stuff like that. I would love to help out because those are some other big things that I have dealt with. Books, makeup, and art supplies. So if you'd like a video on any of those, please let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That would be awesome. Yeah. And subscribe if you would like to see more of me being weird. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next. Bye!